A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
Murder investigation launched after British couple found dead in France. Police are investigating a suspected murder-suicide in France after a British couple was found dead there.
A note found at the scene stated that the couple were facing financial trouble and had plans to turn their house into a bed and breakfast. The bodies will undergo autopsies on Tuesday.
French authorities are asking for witnesses to come forward and speak about the circumstances surrounding the deaths. The bodies were discovered near the town of Boudrac.
Body of woman from Barnsley strangled. A French murder investigation has begun after a woman from Barnsley was found strangled and hit in the head in her living room.
A man from Tunbridge Wells also died after hanging himself after being bankrupted. Police have confirmed that a murder investigation has been launched and that autopsies will be performed on both bodies.
No other people are suspected of being involved in the deaths, but it remains too early to confirm that this is the case. ULC Frost was only 14 years old when she was murdered in a Wakefield underpass in October 1965.
Her body was found by a man walking with his children and police carried out a massive manhunt. In the aftermath of the murder, over 12,000 people were interviewed and the killer was finally arrested.
But it wasn't the end of the story. The murder investigation is just the first step.
Body of man from Tunbridge Wells hanged. The body of a man from Tunbridge Wells was found hanged in a garden shed on October 19.
Fuller was an electrician who had worked at the Kent and Sussex Hospital from 1989 to 2010 and had sexually abused at least 102 dead women. Police said he had used Facebook to look for pictures of his victims.
The case drew widespread attention and the prosecution brought Fuller to trial. After the murder of Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce in a bedsit, Fuller confessed to killing the two women.
He had previously pleaded guilty to 51 other charges and was convicted on 44 of them. Investigators found that Fuller had sexually abused at least 19 victims and had left behind photographs of them.
The bodies were covered with duvets. After their death, he also confessed to sexual assaulting the women.
The couple had planned to open a guest house. Fuller's convictions for burglary in 1973 and 1976 landed him in prison.
He was living 2 miles away from the bedsit and his wife was aware that he was a danger. Fuller's wife had reported seeing a peeping Tom outside her flat a month before she disappeared.
It's not clear why Fuller chose to take her life, but it was a tragic event for the couple following the murder of Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce in Tunbridge Wells, Kent. Fuller pleaded guilty to their crimes.
The trial lasted for 3 years. Fuller had been in jail for more than 20 years when he was caught.
In the meantime, the victim's family never gave up their quest for justice. The Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells NHS Trust apologized to the victims' families.
French police investigating suspected murder-suicide. A British couple found dead in France have sparked a murder-suicide investigation by the French police.
John and Catherine Boys were allegedly strangled to death in their home by their partner, John Boys. The notes were left behind by the couple mentioning financial problems.
After 3 days of silence, concerned friends called the couple and found the bodies of the two in their sitting room. John had strangled his wife to death, while Catherine was found with a rope around her neck.
The prosecutor in St. Gaudens said that the deaths of the two people were likely the result of a murder-suicide. Earth bodies of the couple, John and Catherine, were discovered in a small town in eastern France.
The couple had spent months converting their home into guest accommodation, spending all of their savings. Although the couple didn't speak the language, they were reportedly happy together and enjoyed playing pétanque together.
A note found by John's buddy suggested that he was having trouble with money. The French police are still investigating the incident but say that the couple's deaths are suspicious and are being investigated as a murder-suicide.
The couple purchased a house in Boudrac, a small town 54 miles southwest of Toulouse. The couple planned to turn the home into a bed and breakfast.
The Foreign and Commonwealth Office said that consular staff would be available round the clock to assist them in their time of need. There was no word on whether or not the couple were married or divorced.
In any case, the British couple's deaths have triggered a national and international investigation. Location of bodies.
2 bodies were found on Sunday in a French village near Toulouse. A British woman, 65, died from strangulation, while her 64-year-old husband appeared to have hanged himself.
Their bodies were discovered by concerned friends after the couple hadn't been seen or heard from for 3 days. Their bodies were identified and forensic examinations are ongoing.
In the meantime, the police are trying to determine who is responsible if bodies of a British couple found dead in a French home are currently being investigated.
The bodies of a 65-year-old woman and 64-year-old man were discovered by friends of the couple after they went missing for 3 days. The woman's body showed signs of strangulation and blows, while the man appears to have hanged himself.
Police said a note found at the scene suggested the couple were struggling financially and had argued about it. An autopsy is expected to reveal the exact cause of death.
A murder investigation in France has led to a post-mortem examination of the bodies of the couple. The bodies had been in the house for just a few days, according to the public prosecutor.
The 2 victims were British citizens who had moved to the French village of Barbec 18 months ago. Their goal was to turn the home into a bed and breakfast.
The couple had no children and were struggling financially. Police say they believe Mr. and Mrs. Bergeron were killed in their cottage.
The bodies were found at the cottage near Cahir. The bodies are still in the home, but there is no evidence to suggest that they were murdered by a foreign national.
Nevertheless, the bodies are a mystery, and no one has been arrested yet. The French embassy are organizing the return of the bodies.
And from Tunbridge Wells believed to have strangled his wife before taking his own life. A man from Tunbridge Wells is suspected of murdering his wife and daughter by strangling her to death before taking his own life.
The case is the longest unsolved double homicide in the UK. The case became more complicated when a report into Fuller's mental capacity came to light during the trial.
Fortunately, DNA found at the scene was linked to Fuller through his brother. Wendy Fuller was found dead in a flooded drain near Romney Marsh in Kent, England, in November 1999.
The case was chillingly similar to a murder in which a man stabbed or strangled a woman before taking her own life. The crime took place in a poorly lit street in Tunbridge Wells.
The man had previously been convicted of creeper burglaries and was spared jail at a Crown Court in Portsmouth. He killed 2 women and a baby while married to his second wife.
The 2 bodies were found in a nearby wooded area. The forensic evidence recovered from the scene of the crime and DNA from the victims were also used to identify the killer.
Fuller is now serving a life sentence of at least 28 years and will have to serve a lengthy period in jail. A review into the deaths of the children has been launched by Lancashire Police.
The investigation has concluded that Andrew Milne and Jacob Barnard, both of Tunbridge Wells, murdered their wife before taking his own life. Their son was 4 years old at the time of the incident.
He had also poured petrol through the letterbox of the house, where the fire had started. A woman had reported the image online and police were called.